Welcome back. Learning Plan 7 is all about problem identification. This is where we're really going to start rolling up our sleeves and trying to identify what the root cause of the problem is. Hopefully by now you've identified something to work on, and what we want to look at now is, well, how do we get to the bottom of this? How do we get down to the reasons that are really causing the problem? And I like to use an analogy for kind of explaining what root cause analysis is, because some of us, when we hear that term, we get kind of a feeling what it is, but we don't really know for sure. Others have no clue. But think of it this way. Let's say throughout the course of the day you get home and you develop a headache. Typically, what's the first thing you do? Yeah, you probably take an aspirin or two, and hopefully that aspirin is going to work in a couple hours or maybe even less, and it's probably going to correct the headache. Tomorrow you have another day that doesn't go so well, and you end up with another headache. So you take another aspirin, and this cycle can continue, and it oftentimes does continue for a lot of people. Where in fact, what's causing that headache? What's the reason why you're having the headache? Well, it might be, a lack of sleep. It might be stress. It might be an illness. It could be a number of different reasons that are causing that headache. Well, that's what root cause analysis has to do with. It has to do with getting to what the underlying problem is, what's really causing that headache. When we take an aspirin, what we do is we're addressing the symptoms. Okay? The symptom is the headache. The cure is the aspirin, the temporary cure. But we're never addressing the root cause of that headache. There's been a lot of research done on that, and a lot of reasons why people have headaches is because they're under a lot of stress. So unless you identify stress as the root cause, and once you've identified the stress as the root cause, you can take corrective action to reduce or to at least manage the amount of stress that we all have in our everyday lives. So that's the concept, that's the idea about root cause analysis. And that concept is no different in the world of quality improvement. Oftentimes what we do in terms of problems in companies, let's say we have some defect product. It's discovered that something's not a specification, or a customer is dissatisfied, or it could be a whole variety of different things. But when we discover a quality issue, we're very good at correcting that problem. We'll send the customer a replacement product, or we'll stop everything within house, and we'll set the equipment up or reset the equipment up. We'll scrap everything that we found that was bad. And what we're doing there is just like when you're addressing that headache. We're taking care of the symptoms, we're correcting the symptoms, but we're not doing anything to get at the cause of those quality problems in the first place. That's what this course is all about: continuous improvement, getting to the root cause of problems. Now, in order to do that, there's a number of different tools that are used for us to get at the root cause of problems. One of the tools that I especially like, that you're going to be introduced to in this learning plan, is something called a fishbone. Another term for it is a cause and effect diagram, and another term for it is an Ishikawa diagram. Ishikawa is the Japanese individual that created and started this concept of cause and effect. But really what it does is it's structured brainstorming that gets people together that are familiar with the problem, and they brainstorm what the possible root causes of the problem might be. And that's oversimplified, but really that's what it's all about. Too many times in organizations, and not even in organizations, but in our personal lives, too many times we jump to the solution without really exhausting all the possible causes for that problem. Maybe it's a strong personality from an individual in the group. You know, they're sure that this is the problem. They know that this is creating the problem. They've seen it 100 times, and they know exactly how to correct it. But what happens is we go after that, we spend resources, and maybe we fix part of the problem, and then we think we're a success, but we miss a lot of opportunity by taking that approach. So in this unit, what you're going to do is you're going to use a team, and you're going to try and identify all the possible root causes by using a fishbone diagram. And it's going to explain, the unit's going to explain how to go ahead and use those fishbone diagrams. But it's a great tool for getting everything visual, so everyone is on the same page and everyone's looking at the same possible causes for the problem. So again, I think you're going to have fun with this cause and effect diagram. If you go online and you would Google cause and effect, you're going to find all kinds of different examples. You're going to find you know, all kinds of information about cause and effect. But as I said, I think it's one of the more fundamental basic tools that's used in problem solving. And you know, I strongly suggest that you have a really good handle on cause and effect and how to use them.